Hello and welcome to the unofficial BSHL Senior Hockey League podcast. I'm your host, Corey, joined by my co-host, Corey.
I am certainly your co-host.
How's it going, buddy?
I'm doing fantastic. How about you?
Good, man. Good. Had a pretty busy week, but had a good week. Finally, some announcements in the BSHL Senior Hockey League, which makes me happy.
I'm here.
They're coming early this year, though. That's, June, we're getting some announcements. You got to get excited about that. You want to get right into those announcements?
Sure.
All right. So the Dalhousie Marauders were the first to announce they signed Isaac Wilson, formerly of the Summerside Western Capitals. He was also drafted into the queue by the Wildcats. So he played a few games for the Cats. The way the Junior A rule works is so long as you played 10 or less games in the queue or any CHL league, you can still qualify as a Junior A as long as you haven't played higher than that. So, a little bit of a weird rule, but an interesting rule too. Big signing for them. I think a lot of excitement from Dalhousie fans that it came early. He's from PEI originally. So, big signing, played for the Summerside Western Capitals. You know who else played for the Summerside Western Capitals? Parker Deegan.
Oh, yeah.
So, we've got some Summerside Western Capitals in this league. I think this is a sign of things to come. I think Dalhousie's coming back to win it all. I don't think they're going to sleep. I think they know that everybody's going to be gunning for them, but they want to win.
You know, that's how dynasties get started.
Dynasties. It's a big word, Bodor.
Well, hey, I'd love to see a dynasty in the Maritimes. Why not?
Last week, I went to bed at 10 o'clock or something, and the JCs made an announcement at 11:30 at night or 11 o'clock at night. I was asleep. I woke up to many text messages, including one from you, Corey.
I was woken up by a bunch sent to me, and I was like, literally, I was thinking, wrong Corey, the other one.
Not right, Corey. You're the one that woke up. So they announced the return of Alex Collette.
Yep.
No surprise. Alexi Guitar, who was a crucial player for the JCs when they made it to the finals against the Hawks a couple of years ago.
Yep. Absolutely.
Alexi's a great player. Jacques Cormier, Captain Jacques Cormier, going to be back, apparently.
Yeah. That's one that, for the JCs fans that I know, it was almost like a sigh of relief. Like, oh, we got Jock back, talking with how come I'm blanking on his name? Talking with Ricky.
Yep.
A few weeks ago, and glowing about Jacques Cormier. This is before it was announced, but he was like, this guy was our goal scorer. This was, he compared him almost to Mac Brown or a guy like that, a high goal scorer. So I think JC's fans are very much excited for this, and I don't blame them.
Yeah, I mean, Jacques brings a physical presence. He brings some good leadership, and he can score some goals. So it's a big one. That wasn't the end of their announcements, though. The JCs did not let us down. Matt Newcomb is back for the JCs next year. He was playing in Schongau, Germany last year. I think the tier 3 league, tier 4 league. The way that it works in Europe is there's normally just different tiers. So he played pro in Germany last year. Let me pull up his stats. I have his, he had 30 games played, 11 goals, 23 assists, 34 points as a rookie in that league.
Wow.
In the past, he has played in the Southern Professional Hockey League for Huntsville. He has a background at the University of Ottawa, and before that for the Dieppe Commandos. So no newcomer to the league. He was a finalist with the JCs a couple of years ago against the Hawks. Matt Newcomb is a force. He's a great player. And I think JC's fans should be really happy to have that kid back.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because the JCs didn't have the best year, but they didn't have their best players. It's no disrespect to anybody, but Alex
No.
won you a lot of those games.
I mean, when you're missing 2 top goal scorers from the year before, it's going to be tough. But it's good to see those guys coming back. I think, you see new coaches, you see maybe a fresh look for the JCs. I'm excited for them. It's going to be a great year. Unreal that we're getting these announcements this early. It's crazy.
I love it. Last year, I believe we started getting announcements, August?
Yeah, it was like July sometime, but we didn't really have the podcast until August. It didn't really start.
Yeah.
So, we're getting close to season 2, Corey.
Yeah. Can't wait.
I've been trying to find a new intro song. So that's been something I've been spending some time on. I've got it narrowed down to a few. I'm going to send them over your way so you can give them a listen tonight, probably.
Sure.
But, exciting, fun. We're almost, we're summer. It's beautiful outside. My gosh, what beautiful weather this week.
Yep.
Must be hot at the shop.
I find it's very hot, but I'm always moving at the shop. The old ladies at the shop always say it's cold. And from where I work, if they turn that heater on, it's like directly on the left side of my face. And I turn red, just, and I'm like, turn that freaking thing off. And they're like, no, it's freezing. And I'm like, it's the middle of summer. How are you freezing?
It's hot, man. It is so hot. At my work, they adjusted the air conditioning and it was too cold last week, people felt. So they kind of bumped it back a little bit. And man, it was warm today. I'll tell you right now. Whew, she was toasty out there. So we've got some, hopefully more announcements coming in the next couple of weeks. I've kind of heard some rumors of some different things, but we'll wait for the teams to make announcements before we do. There is a team league meeting coming up this weekend, I think this Sunday. So
a lot of those, huh?
No, this one. So the last meeting was over Zoom and people had connection issues. So you're going to do this one in person. It's not in Rishabak though. It's somewhere that's slightly more neutral for the northern teams. So anyway, it's good. I can't wait to hear what comes out of it. If we hear anything, we'll let you guys know. I think there's some things that are definitely be decided, like the fight rule. Iron out what people's zones are so that people can start recruiting properly and, go from there. But again, another sign that we're getting closer to the season starting. Very exciting.
I can't wait. Chomping at the bit. I say it every week.
You've only got a week and a half left of this part of the season for you. So you'll be off. Yeah. You'll be off for July and then back at it in August, September, and then off to the rinks we go.
Off to the rinks we go. I can't wait. I won't be missing game 1 like I did. Like I missed a shoe on the ice the first time.
The infamous Miramichi shoe. When you're off, we're going to catch some wrestling shows.
Some wrestling.
We've got three that we're getting to at least. IHW in Riverview. We've got Spring Hill, Dave Boyce in Spring Hill, and we have North Pro. At the very least, we're going to get to those 3. Hopefully, we'll get some more than that.
I would love to see a CCW show, some baseball. Hell, I might join you in watching some. What's that sport you like that I always mock you for?
Curling.
Yeah.
That's a winter sport.
Doesn't matter. There's ice.
Well, I'll send you some YouTube videos so you can get accustomed to curling. That'll be an interesting.
Sure.
That'll be an interesting July hobby for you. So the next thing we have here on tap is our rink foods.
Our
top 5 rink foods. The top 5s last week were very, very warmly welcomed by fans of the podcast listeners.
It's funny because there's a few people at work that just came up to me and they were like, LC and Spring Hill, like without even telling me what it was about. And I'm like, what about them? Like my top 5 rivalries. And I'm like, you can give me a warning,
So we've got a few other ones coming up. If you have any ideas, leave them again in the comments. Thanks everybody that left some in the comments, or a few people messaged us with them. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
We're going with top 5 favorite foods in the Beausejour Senior Hockey League from last season. I'm going to say that caveat, from last season.
Yep.
You'll understand why in a minute. Corey, you have your top 5?
I do. And I do have an honorable mention because there needs to be a rule here. And
we'll save it for the end. Save the honorable mention for the end.
No. But yes. But one of the rules here is rink food has to be at a rink. It can't be a food.
No Nashville hot chicken?
No Nashville hot chicken. No Saint-Hubert. So, all right.
We're hoping, we're talking right now, and I think in a week or two, not sure what episode, but we're gonna have Cheryl and Tracy hosting an episode of the podcast.
Yep, we're not gonna be here.
We're not gonna be here. We're gonna let them record it. I'm gonna edit it. I don't know who's gonna host, who's co-hosting. I don't know who's gonna run the show. I really hope that there's a lot of announcements that week, so they have to make them. That would make my day. So if you're a team listening to this and you can make some announcements sometime in, I don't know, early July, let's say, let's do that, because that would be pretty fun. Okay, Corey, we've got our top 5 best rink foods in the Bossier Senior Hockey League from last season. What's number 5 for you?
Number 5 for me, this is a personal one for me because it's something that I really never really think about.
Okay.
And hey, Maggie.
Maggie's in. I love when she's in the episode. Go ahead.
Yeah. So my number 5 is the Rush. The Rush
Limbaugh.
I don't know if anybody can notice I worked all day. My words.
Let's start again. Number 5 for Corey Vautour is
Rishi Buckdew popcorn chicken.
Okay.
Our buddy Seb.
Yeah.
He had some and he was like, try this. They're great. And I was like, okay, tried one. Fantastic. Love them.
I think I've seen Ricky eat them too. I've gotten them a few times. They are pretty good. Number 5 for me, coincidentally enough, the Elspachtag Hawks, the Rishabakto Arena Poutine.
That is a very good one.
I like their poutine. You need ketchup on it. I do wish their gravy was a little bit more flavorful, but it's vinegar. There you go, Pascal. Cool. Vinegar on that. I like their poutine a lot. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe, I mean, it's my hometown, so a little nostalgia there. But that's I used to technically at the old rink. I used to make that poutine. Yep. So number 4 for you, Corey. What do we have?
Spoiler alert: I don't have one poutine on my
what?
List. Not one.
Okay.
All right. And this is gonna shock you. Right here is gonna shock you.
All right. Number 4.
Miramichi hot dogs.
Okay. You know what's funny? We're following the same cities. Why do you pick the hot dog at Miramichi?
It's the best hot dog in the league. It's so good. 3 places were just better.
They're crispy. They are really good. I think it's a Costco hot dog. I'm not sure. I think it's a Costco hot dog based on just the flavor and the size. It's a good hot dog.
I think another thing for me is the price. I think it was like $7. You get a soft drink and a hot dog.
Yeah, not very expensive in Miramichi. The poutine, everything Miramichi's cheap.
They're a huge hot dog, so one will fill you up.
All right. My number 4 is the Miramichi poutine, but only if the fries are crispy. Every now and then I'll get a poutine in Miramichi, and sometimes, I think I had like 3 last year. One of them was very mediocre. It was whatever. It's fine. But the other 2, the fries were nice and crispy. It was delicious, man.
Yeah.
They've got a good poutine.
I don't think I've tried their poutine.
No.
Every time I've gone there, the first time I went there and I tried
hot dogs,
you were like, grab a hot dog.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right. And just every time we go there, if I'm like, I should take something else, I see those hot dogs and I'm like, yeah, no, that's fine.
They have one of the worst burgers in the league. It's a terrible burger.
It doesn't smell good. I have never tried it, but there were some kids in front of me. It seems like they seasoned it too much or something. There's a weird smell to it.
It's just not good. Number 3.
For me, cheating a little bit.
Oh, fuck. Here we go.
But it was at a rink.
God,
and the rink did make it.
Oh.
The Shippigan steak sub.
Okay. So God damn it. My number 3 is Shippigan too. And mine is also cheating a little bit. If you get there a little bit before the game, before like the technical canteen opens, you can go into the bar portion and they've got a little bit of a different menu. You can go there and get a ground beef poutine. That's friggin' amazing, man.
Yep.
So yours is the shipping and steak sub, and mine's the ground beef poutine.
The steak sub was ridiculously good. Just ridiculous. I think
you got to go with the 5 cassette, right? The 5 cassette. So that's called, I think. Yeah, it's so good.
You know what's funny? Looking at my list right now, I'm almost certain that we followed every city.
I think we did too, and that's messed up. Only because I know what your number 2 and 1 is. I just know you. So, man, that's trippy. We did not talk about this. But yeah, that shipping in ground beef poutine. They put a lot of beef in there. It's just that's a good poutine.
Yeah.
Number 2.
The steak sub is friggin' amazing. So number 2, Paisano's Donair Burger.
Number 2, Paisano's Donair Burger.
That's hilarious.
Why the Donair Burger? What makes it so good?
It's the best. Just the best.
They have some Donair sauce. Like they give you everything on the side, so you put your own tomatoes, onions, Donair sauce. And I'm heavy on the Donair sauce. Yeah, that is a mean burger. Although I will tell you, tonight I made something on the barbecue. You talk to me about that Donair burger, and I'll tell you what I made in a minute. Here, I got to Google it.
There's one thing about the Donair burger that I just the little touch that they put in is they put melted cheese on it, and that was amazing.
I agree with you. It's Mark from Paisano's. That's some good food. My God. I'm gonna miss them in the league, but I'll make my way back to Spring Hill for some of that. So for supper tonight, coincidentally enough, and I knew we were gonna record this, so maybe it was like subliminally I knew. We're driving home. It's beautiful outside today, like 27 degrees. And Tracy a while back bought this seasoning mix. It's called Drunken Sailor Donair Spice. All right. Drunken Sailor Donair Spice. You can go to drunkensailor.ca. These people are not a sponsor. Drunkensailor.ca. So what it is for every pound of ground beef, you put 2 tablespoons of this seasoning mix and a little bit of warm water, equal parts water to seasoning. So 2 tablespoons, you mix it up. I put it in some ground beef with a little bit of breadcrumbs in there, mixed it up, and I put it on the barbecue. And then I topped it with some Donair sauce. I'm telling you, man, phenomenal.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. When you're off, when you come here to play some Cards Against Humanity, I'll make you a little Donair burger. I'm not saying it's as good as Spring Hill.
No. Spring Hill, I don't know. The pizza there is fantastic too.
Oh yeah.
But that Donair burger, like, being someone with a weird facial hair, the mustache.
Whoa, where are we going?
Yeah. When you eat that, you get sticky in the mustache a lot. So,
man, I'm sorry to anybody listening to this that found that weird, because good God, Corey, you get sticky. Where do you get sticky, Corey?
In the mustache, eating the Donair burger.
Yeah, on the mustache. Okay. Number 1, what's the best food in the BSHL?
Dope down burgers.
Fried onions, ketchup. I agree. Doketown Rink Burger is the best burger. It's kind of ridiculous that we followed each other there.
I think the Doketown Burgers, the fact that the Lumberjacks made it to the finals, and every single time, like, I remember driving there with you guys and saying, I'm taking something different this time. And you're just like, no, you're not. You're just not. I know you're not. You love those burgers. You're going to get those burgers. No. I'm taking some. I'm going to try the chicken strips or the chicken burger. You're like, no, you're not. And I never did. It was the burger. Alana, the lady that makes the burgers, a genius, an absolute genius. Those burgers are the best burgers I've ever had.
They're a phenomenal burger. I remember one game, Cheryl was running late. We didn't know why. We ended up taking 2 cars to the game. You and I went together in my car. Cheryl went up with my Mama Podcast in their car. We didn't know why Cheryl was running late, but it's because she got pulled over by the cops driving home or driving to. I don't remember what it was. But so she was late. We ended up going alone. And that day, Cheryl was like, I'm stopping somewhere and I'm getting something. This was like game 4 of the finals or something. Like, we'd eaten a lot of rink burgers. And Cheryl's like, I can't have another rink burger. You and I get in the car. We start driving. I'm like, where do you want to eat? And Corey looks at me. He goes, I want 2 rink burgers. Never got old.
No, it never did. I don't know. There's something about the way they make those burgers that are just top notch. So for the honorable mention,
okay,
this would have been on my list if it would have been sold at the arena. Chig's Pizza.
Chig's Pizza is your honorable mention?
Oh, hell yeah. I like every time I hear Dalhousie, my mouth waters because I think of those barbecue chicken pizzas.
Man, I do love some Chig's Pizza. I'm not gonna lie. Man, Chig's is good. Yeah, my honorable mention was a rink food. The Trackety Poutin's pretty freaking great.
That one's really good.
But I couldn't put it on top of the. It's very similar to some other poutines, so I left it off. But man, yeah, Chig's.
I'm gonna give one honorable mention to probably the place that has the most variety of stuff that I really, really like, and that's Bucktouche.
Yeah, I knew that's where you were gonna go with that.
Yeah, their hot dogs are good. Their burgers are good. The first half of the season, it was all about the popcorn chicken poutine.
Yep, in Bucktouche, and then we had it, and it was fine. I haven't had it again. Have you?
No, it was filling. It was the type of, and it wasn't really big, but it was very filling, and it made me like really full to the point where I was like, I'm not gonna eat for a week now.
To get back to Chig's for a second. Little shout out and an unsolicited plug. You're welcome, Travis. You can get Chig's Pizza at IGA Co-op in Trackety now. It's going to be available on the 24th. So not quite yet, but I guess early next week. Yeah, next Monday. So you're listening to this on Thursday. Following Monday, go pick up some Chig's Pizzas in Trackety at the IGA. And you can also pick it up at Marche Guitare in Kedgwick. So, if Chig's could spread a little bit more towards this part of the province, that would be great. But we could always make a drive to Trackety. Trackety's not that far.
I don't know. Travis and his dad. We met Travis's dad.
What a nice man. Yeah.
Fantastic guy.
So much nicer than Travis.
Yeah, I knew that was going. Travis is a class act human being, in my opinion. Just one of the nicest people I've ever met.
Here's why I love Travis. I'll tell you right now. Remember the time Cheryl walks in the locker room, the next game, Travis is waiting, meets her, looks her right in the face and goes, yeah, you won't get back in there. I hired extra security. That's why, man, that kind of sense of humor. God, love it.
Now, Travis, we shouldn't have favorites, but he's one of my favorites. Just someone that really respects what we do, and the feeling is mutual. Yeah, we respect a lot what he does, and especially the pizza.
Fuck it, you're a decent GM, I guess. You'll do, but man, what a pizza maker!
Pizza maker.
We have an interview coming up. Corey, you weren't there for this one. You were working again. It's a buddy of mine. His name's Alex. He runs a charity last year called Al's Pals. His name's Alex Arsenault, but he's not that Alex Arsenault. Anyway, he's been a buddy of mine for 20 years, I want to say. More than that, 25 years. We used to go to Cats games together in Moncton back in the day. I had my license. He didn't have his yet. We all sat in the same section at the Coliseum and just started talking. He had a brother who was a pain in the butt. But beside the point, he's a great guy. And he came on, gave us an interview about Al's Pals. We talked about that a bit. He's also the assistant coach, head coach. I don't know. He's a coach for the New Brunswick para hockey team, and they're going to be hosting the Nationals next year. So we talk a little bit about that, but we really go into detail about Al's Pals and what that charity did. So what he did was, if you're a newcomer in Canada, you've never been to a hockey game, you could email him. He bought 4 flex passes and gave away tickets all year last year to newcomers in Canada. Yeah, it was pretty wicked seeing the updates. When I heard when he was doing it, I was like, that's pretty cool. Then as it was going on, you saw pictures getting posted and a bunch of stuff, and he ended up bringing hundreds of people to the Wildcats games, which is just
that's
amazing. Such a cool story. So check him out, Al's Pals on Facebook. Thank you for tuning into this episode 65. We're getting close to season 2 of the Beausejour Senior Hockey League podcast, and we are excited for it, Corey.
Absolutely. I can't wait.
Corey, you haven't eaten yet, so now it's time for you to go eat. We talked about food and you hadn't eaten yet. It's like torture.
Yeah, I'm pretty hungry.
There you go. All right. Thanks for listening, everybody. Enjoy the interview with Alex, and we'll see you next week.
Take care.
All right. Corey from the podcast. I'm here. I've got a special guest today. I'm joined by Pittsburgh Arsenault, Alex Arsenault, but not that Alex Arsenault. An Alex Arsenault that's a close friend of mine. Al, how you doing, buddy?
Good, man. How are you?
Good. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's crazy. We used to talk pretty much every day, and then life changes, interests change. We don't follow the Wildcats anymore and stuff, but happy to be back in contact, man.
Yeah, it's nice to talk to you. I know I was watching one of your Wildcat stream things that you were doing. I was enjoying listening to you again because you're a pain in the ass, but you're a funny guy. So you were talking, you're busy most nights. What do? You golf? Oh
man, we're busy. My wife and I play 2 softball teams, try to fit some golf in there. Tonight I was about to see my nephew play ball hockey. It's just, yeah, we're busy people. We don't have kids, but we're very busy people.
Yeah, you've got a lot of other kids in your life, so
exactly, yeah.
I get that. So you mentioned Al's Pals. That's kind of what brought this in. I really want to talk to you about it. So, Al's Pals, for somebody that has no idea what it is, explain it to me.
So Al's Pals is an idea I had a few years ago. Oh yeah, phone's always ringing.
Popular guy.
I'm busy. So something I had an idea I had a few years ago, but came to fruition this year. Was I'm in a spot now where I want to help others, and a big passion of mine, obviously, as you know, is junior hockey. I've met a lot of people due to junior hockey, yourself included. My wife included, met her at a Titan game. So, it's to be able to, help people and, share my passion of junior hockey. I had the idea of purchasing Wildcat season tickets, and donating tickets to every game. So what I did this past season, I purchased 4 flex tickets, 4 flex. So it's like season tickets. You have the equivalent of season tickets, but you can choose how many tickets to redeem per game, right? So I wasn't that way there. I wasn't bound to just find the perfect family of 4 every game, right? So some games I had, family of 3, other games had family of 5. And so fortunately, it really took off as far as, being able to find people that were interested in these tickets. Because that was one of the biggest reasons for me that I was hesitant to do it, was like, if I go out and buy, 4 flex tickets or season tickets, and I can't find people who have never been to a game before, because that's the whole premise too, was to find people who've never been to a hockey game before, so to show them. And so fortunately, not a shortage of people in Moncton who have never been to a hockey game due to the big influx of immigration. But my worry was, how do I find these people? How do I reach to these people? And obviously power of social media, we're all aware how powerful social media is. I somehow underestimated it. I was able to not only find the 100 some people that I wanted to find, but my list actually hit 600 names. I was over 600 names of people that were interested. So, which brought out another worry that I had to supply to, less than 30% of these people were going to, I was going to have to reject 70%. But again, power of social media, I just put out there, if anybody has unused season tickets that, they're not using, I can use them. And long story short, I had almost 400 people attend a game, all at no cost to them. So it was phenomenal.
One of the most stressful games you've ever been to, though.
What's that?
One of the most stressful games you've probably ever been to, just logistics wise.
Oh yeah, so this was throughout the season, but there was one game that had 156. But yeah, logistically that was crazy. So I'm trying to communicate with these people. I have a full-time job. I also coach hockey. I play hockey. I play soccer. I play dodgeball. I play ball hockey. So, like my extra time is pretty limited. So to try to reach, all these people who most of them English isn't their first language. So there's a language barrier there. And just due to the amount of tickets I had to handle, I want to do most of it digitally. And, a lot of people, and rightfully so, some people thought it was a scam. Some people backed out because they thought it was a scam because they needed their email address. And, it was just crazy. And yeah, and I'm not even, to be honest, I'm not even sure all 156 people showed up. I have no way to know who showed up and who didn't show up. I know there was a lot of people there that were, I told them to wear like a jersey from their country. So, there's several soccer jerseys. Some people had made posters. A couple of people had even face painted their flag on their face. And it was really cool. I tried to meet a few people. Then again, that was another thing though. I'd go out and talk to people and they couldn't even communicate back. So yeah. It's one of those things that like, they felt a lot more comfortable texting me, just due to they're obviously using apps to translate and stuff, yeah. Right? So, so there's definitely some awkwardness there, but you could tell they were really appreciative, and I'd always keep my eye on them. Every game I knew where people were sitting, right? So I'd always keep an eye on them, and you can ask the friends that I sit with. Most games I was more focused on my pals, as I called them, just to see the joy that they had from the games. And when the Wildcats would score, they knew what was going on and stuff. So everything was, while it was hectic, I have no regrets.
It's an amazing. I heard about it really early on. I saw you popped back up on Facebook, which was like, that's weird. And then I saw you created that group, joined, and yeah, man, it's one of the coolest things I've seen anybody that I personally know do. So hats off to you, credit to you. I know it was an incredible amount of work, but are we gonna see it continue in the future? It may be a smaller scope.
Yeah. So fully honest with you, again, I haven't decide what I'm going to do for next year. So I was a little disappointed with the response from the Wildcats that I had. So, yep. Reached out to them in the off season before even purchasing tickets to see if I could, get a discount, explain to them. And it was radio silence. So obviously I was very disappointed, but I said, screw it. Like, I'm doing this. It's not about the Wildcats. It's about junior hockey, and it's about these people that are, that have never been to a game. So, I had a lot of, things racing through my mind. And then of course when I had the 156 people at a game, the Wildcats seemed to be like on board with it. They wanted to show support, blah, blah, blah. So I said, they offered me to say go early or, get a coach to come or meet a player. And I'm like, this, A, is too much work, and B, they wouldn't even know who the player is. All I ask in return is just give us a shout out on the scoreboard, right? Put us on the big screen, just say, hey, welcome these 156 people from 20 different countries, whatever it was. Just put us on the screen, give them something to cheer about, whatever. And then, so not only did they not do that, despite the promise that they would, and I even texted them the morning, and I guess I was on the script, but they had too many ads, not enough whistles or whatever, so they didn't get a chance. But to just make matters worse, the Wildcats got shut out that game. So these people literally had nothing to cheer for. So I was on tilt, if you will, that night, and I was actually pretty livid. So I drafted an email to the Wildcat. I was so mad, but fortunately I didn't hit send. Reviewed it the next day, cleaned it up just a slight bit, but still got my point across, and I couldn't hold it in any longer. I sent it off, and then basically that was me telling them we're freaking done. Basically broke up with someone who didn't want to be in a relationship with me, which is kind of weird. But anyway, so a little awkward on my part, but anyway, so I don't know. So, right then and there, I was telling myself, I'm freaking done with these dudes. We're done with the Wildcats. Next year, find something else, or so it was really disappointing. But yeah, so right now, I'm still kind of letting things cool off. Honestly, I probably will do the Wildcats again. They're going to have a good team this year, and they just hired a new coach, probably the biggest coaching hire in CHL history. So, it's exciting times for the Moncton. My other idea was to reach out to, just buy, say, a few Friday games for Friday, Saturday, Sunday games for the Tetons, the Sea Dogs, the Eagles, and the Islanders, and just try to get other maritime rinks filled, right? The people that would more appreciate it. You look at a team like the Wildcats, they don't really need my help getting people there for regular season games anyways. They definitely need help for playoffs, but that's a whole other story. But same with the Mooseheads, right? They definitely don't have trouble, getting fans out there. So I was more thinking of the other markets that be more appreciative. So, but then the logistics of it would be a lot tougher on me as well. Man. So
yeah, not all those teams use Ticketmaster. There'd be a lot of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I'd have to reach out to them, see what we can do and what they would be willing to do for me logistically. If can somebody pick up tickets, like if I pay for them and right. So I don't know. Yeah. So, but right now, as I said, I'm really busy, with everything. So just kind of enjoying the moment, if you will, little break between seasons. So stay tuned for more news, I guess.
Al's Pals is still around. We just don't know what the future holds. I think,
exactly.
Though, I think you can tell you had a lot of fun doing it. Once Al's Pals was done, you weren't done with hockey, though. Let's talk about your other hockey endeavor this year. You started coaching para hockey.
So that's another fun thing. Again,
let's talk about it.
Add a thing to the list of things to keep me busy. So I started coaching Team New Brunswick para hockey this season. And actually, so when we started, the first camp of Team New Brunswick, we didn't even have enough people to make a team. So we reached out to the tournament organizers and to our neighboring provinces who also didn't have enough people. And we were able to convince the tournament organizers to let us put in basically like a Team Atlantic. Okay. So we're still called Team New Brunswick this year, but we had, New Brunswick accounted for about half the team, and then 40% Nova Scotia, and then 10% PEI. So basically we were essentially Team Atlantic, and we were actually officially Team Atlantic going into next season. So, but para hockey was a sport, I'd seen it before, but I didn't really know what it was all about. And, once you get involved and you meet the people here that are involved and, all their stories and just how grateful a lot of them are to just have the opportunity to play hockey. It's been an incredible journey. It's been a lot of fun.
It's an awesome sport, man. I think it doesn't necessarily get enough attention, but you guys are hosting a pretty big tournament next year here in the Maritimes, which is going to be phenomenal. So talk to me a bit about that.
Yeah, so that's really exciting. It kind of just happened. We didn't submit a bid or anything, but they had a pre-tournament meeting. So our manager and our president were there, and they asked, by show of hands, who would be interested in hosting next year. And nobody raised their hands. So kind of or nobody was raising their hands. So our manager, Amanda, quickly raised her hand and said, we'll do it. And, they asked if anybody objected, and everybody was actually really happy to see, a smaller province taking it on. So we're not sure where it'll be. They have a few meetings lined up. That's out of my scope of work, but they're trying to figure it out, where it could be, whether it'll be New Brunswick or Nova Scotia. But it's exciting to bring that, and hopefully, I can get some of my friends to come out and watch the game so they can see, they see what I do, because I talk to them about para hockey all the time, and I've got a few friends who came out to, sit in a sledge and try it out, and they had fun. But it'd be cool for them to see, games at that level, because it's rough, it's tough, it's a tough sport.
I can guarantee you that we'll be out there checking that out for sure. Looking forward to it. Love supporting stuff. And man, awesome. We'll have to get you out to a senior hockey game next year and hang out some. We'll try to make that happen. I'll try to convince you to come. Amherst just got a team.
You won't have to convince me too hard. Yeah, I saw that Spring Hill. So we actually had a few para hockey camps in Spring Hill. So I saw how cool that rink was. And I regret not going to a senior game there, because I'm sure that rink would have been fun.
The best donair burger. Amazing. Phenomenal food, bro. Phenomenal food.
So I was a little disappointed to see they moved to Amherst, to be honest with you, because I think Spring Hill looks like a cool, just the old ass barn, right? Which those are the best, right? So that would be cool. But I know there's still, I've been to a few games in Bucktouche, and I remember them Cook back in the day, but I'll definitely, you won't have to twist my arm too hard to get me out to a game. I'll be out for sure.
Good. We'll make it happen. We'll get you out there. All right, Alex. Nice to see you, and thanks for coming on.
Right on. Thanks for having me, Corey.
Take care, brother.
Cheers.